Good morning or afternoon, everyone. My name is Jeremy Walsh. I'm the Director of Support, Training, and Documentation for Bni Connect. I'd like to welcome everybody to the webinar today. Today's webinar topic is Building VCP with Bni Connect, and VCP stands for Visibility plus Credibility equals Profitability. What we're going to be talking about largely today is really going deep and in-depth into how to fill out your profile within Bni Connect, where it shows the differences between both the inside of Bni Connect as well as the public side of Bni Connect, and some best practices for when you are filling out these profiles within Bni Connect. Today's webinar is being recorded, so it will be made available probably in a couple of days. All of the videos are available in two places. The first of which is if you're in Bni Connect, click on the question mark in Bni Connect. That will take you to the support site. And if you scroll down a bit to the bottom, there's a training section. And here you'll see all of the recorded webinars month by month, so you can go back and review any of those webinars if you were on them or if you'd just like to learn more information. Those also are stored on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/global. And on this site, you'll see also all of our videos uploaded there. So please do go there afterwards to review the content. Also, share these with your chapter members. We would love to get the information out of our heads and into everybody else's. So let's talk about a VCP and Bni Connect. Oh, one more thing, I apologize. This is a live webinar, so if you have any questions as we're going along, please do ask those questions. The best way to do that is to use the questions control panel, where you can submit a question by typing it. Alternatively, if you prefer, if you'd like to speak your question, just either drop a note in there that you'd like to ask your question, or there is an opportunity to raise your hand with the software. And if you are using a computer that has a microphone on it, or if you're dialed in via telephone, you will be able to voice those questions as well. Okay, so let's talk about VCP. As I mentioned, VCP is visibility plus credibility equals profitability. Now, Bni Connect is a global platform, and as such, it has two different interfaces, one for the general public and one for just Bni members. And you are visible in both of those places within Bni Connect. Let me start off by telling you a little story. I was sitting here, this goes back about 3 or 4 months now. I'm a member in Bni here in the Rhode Island region in the United States. So I still attend weekly chapter meetings. I was sitting here in my office, and a client of mine, an existing client, walks in. And he says, hey, I need a referral. I'm like, oh, well, great. How often does that happen? I'm just sitting here in my office. A client walks in and asks for a referral. I said, yeah, awesome. How can I help you? So I said, he said, you know, I have a full-time bookkeeper, but some of the things in QuickBooks are a little bit more advanced than what she can do. Do you know anybody that is an expert in QuickBooks that can do some kind of stuff like that? I said, yes, absolutely. Now, I wanted to use Bni Connect in order to really pass the information out for this referral. So what I did was I went to, while he was standing over my shoulder, I went to our regional website, and I went to find a member. Now, I'm going to one of our test sites because I really don't want to throw anybody under the bus here. And I put in the member's name, and I did a search for them. And then I pulled up their profile. And this is pretty much what that profile looked like. You know, it did have the company name, it had the chapter they're in, but honestly, not a big credibility builder. Now, keep in mind that anybody in the world can go to these websites and do a search for members, and people are doing that on a daily basis. We have stories of tons of referrals that happen both across the United States and internationally for people that have a friend, a colleague, a family member in another state or another region, and they want to look up a Bni member to pass that business to. If somebody comes across a profile that looks like this, will that inspire any credibility? Do you think that you'll get that referral? More than likely not. And what I even wanted to do in this was to be able to print this page out and give more information about this member. Now, contrast, let's say that somebody was looking for me. So I'm at my real site now, which is our regional site. This is the BNI RI site. And somebody wants to find a member. And let's say somebody was looking for somebody that did computer services or computer repair. They do search. And they would find my particular record. So along with about Island. So let's say they're going through the profiles and they click on mine. This is my profile. So you can see it's a lot more detailed. So we have my phone number and my mobile phone number and my website, so they can go directly over to my website. They have my address information. They have all of my social media links, so they can jump right over, follow me on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter. They can go read a blog and go to YouTube, go to Pinterest, all of those different social media outlets. They can even send me a message. Then that is a real email message, so we'll go directly to my email address. It has my information, my chapter information, my logo, description of my business, and this is called the TOPS profile here. So my ideal referral, top product, top problem solved, favorite BNI story, and ideal referral partner. All of this information is very beneficial for building that visibility and credibility. Now, again, this is the public side of Bni Connect. For members only, you can log into Bni Connect, and only other BNI members would be able to see an extended version of this profile. So if I go into Bni Connect, and if you're not logged in, it will ask you to log in. Again, this is the walled garden. This is the inside of Bni Connect. Now, if you'd like to see what your profile looks like on the inside, down at the bottom of the screen, there's a button here that says Profile. It's a link down at the bottom. When this brings you to your profile, you'll be able to see what other people see when they view your profile. Looks like GoToWebinar is a little bit slow this morning. I'm just waiting for your view to catch up to mine here. Okay, so this is the inside Bni Connect profile. You'll notice some of the things are the same, but there's a lot more expanded information. We have all of our roles here in BNI. So you can see I'm a member. I'm also a director. You can see the same description. So you have my business description and my name and my industry. But you can also see what keywords I've chosen. You can see my logo. You can see more of my phone numbers. It'll display my email address if I choose to here on the inside of Bni Connect. Again, all my social networking links and my address. Now, as a member, though, you have the opportunity to share more information. So there's the Bio tab. And the Bio tab has 60-second presentations, Gains profile, and the TOPS profile. So you can share this information with other people as well. You can also share your connections so people can see what connections that you have. They can even click through to those people's profiles and, if necessary, connect with those people also. You can also share your testimonials here in Bni Connect with other members. You can also share photos, and this is, by the way, a great way to share client testimonials. So obviously clients don't necessarily have a login to Bni Connect, so they wouldn't be able to give you a testimonial on your profile, but you could upload a physical copy of a testimonial from a client. Again, I'm just waiting for your screen to catch up to mine here. There's also the social media group, so people can see which groups you're interested in. Again, another credibility builder. And again, they can view your training history. So how do we get this information into your profile? And I do see a couple of questions up here. Renee had asked, what does the P stand for in VCP? And that is profitability. She has a statement that says that, unfortunately, I'm the only member in my chapter that has the profile filled out. Well, hopefully by the end of this webinar, you'll be able to give them a couple of whys as to why it would be a good idea to do so. She also asked, how do you recommend that we encourage other members to update their profile? Well, towards the end, I'll share with you all another story of a huge success here in Bni Connect that might give you another reason to encourage people to share this. All right, so going back to we have to get all of this information in. Some of it will be there by default, so like your name, your roles, your company name, that stuff will be put in as part of the application. But the rest of the information you do have to put in manually. The place to go to do that is to click on the My Account button here in the upper right-hand corner of just about every screen in Bni Connect. Now, once you click on the My Account button, it will take you over into the Account Management screen. So this is where you fill out all of this information for putting into your profile. And again, apologies, I am monitoring what you guys see on your screen, and I'm just waiting for GoToWebinar seems to be lagging behind today. So again, apologies while this is happening. So again, once you click on that My Account button, it should take you into that account management screen. By the way, can everybody still hear me okay? Is it just the visual that's not coming through? Okay, so I apologize for the technical challenges here. For some reason, GoToMeeting is not getting the screen across, but it is getting my voice across. So thank you, Tracy and Jelena and Ann and Renee and Mitchell. Again, let me see if I can refresh this GoToMeeting screen here. So you can see the screen, but I'm now I've changed from my profile display screen to another screen. I can see that the screen isn't changing. Well, in about 120 webinars, this will be the second time that we've had a problem. So not a bad ratio so far. Again, I apologize for the delay here. Jelena says, happy early Tuesday morning. God love technology. All right, so let's see. I'm just going to reset the GoToWebinar screen here. Let me see if it comes through. Probably won't be saving this recording. If you guys would like to see a non-messed up recording with fewer technical challenges, you can find those on YouTube as well as on the support site. All right, I think the screen finally refreshed for you guys. So, woohoo! All right, so let's go forward. So this is where where you would update all of the aspects of your profile. Again, I got here by clicking on the My Account button in the upper right-hand corner. So once you click on the My Account button, it will bring you to this screen. And this is your user profile. You'll notice that it's broken into a number of tabs here across the top. We have the main profile tab. So this one is basically your name and company information. You have your user profile. We have your contact details. This is your account settings, your bio, and your training history. Some of the stuff on the screen you can change directly, and some of the stuff will take a little bit of help from your regional office. So going through these screens, the first screen here, again, is just it's going to be your name. If you have a suffix or a title, make sure that that's all displayed correctly, your gender and your company name. Now, right here we have the Vat Reference Number. For those international callers with us today, you guys probably know what this is. For the United States users on the call, what this stands for is value added tax. That's pretty much the same as a sales tax here in the United States. For some countries in Europe, they do need to record this as part of their profile. So for us, again, we can just ignore this. Other countries would need to put that in. The next two lines are the industry and classification. Now, again, you can't change these directly. Just verify that it's correct. If you feel that it's incorrect in any way, please contact your regional office or your director consultant or your executive director, and they will be able to get you through the process of getting that changed to something that's more appropriate, and that's also available in Bni Connect. Again, with the next two things, your chapter and your membership status, this will show you whether you're active or late, and it'll show you what chapter you're currently with. Now, the next two sections is where we're going to spend a little bit more time. The My Business description. This is where you get to describe your business. Now, keep in mind that when you are putting your My Business description together, a lot of times this is going to be read by people that have no idea what it is you do, and it may also be read by people that have no idea what BNI is necessarily if they're finding your profile through a Google search or finding it through the regional website search. So the way I look at this is when you go to your chapter meeting and you have open networking, and let's say a visitor comes in, and you need to quickly describe to a visitor what it is that you do in your business, almost like an elevator speech. So logically thinking, you know, something 30 seconds or less, a couple of paragraphs or a couple of sentences. Keep it short and sweet, and that way it will display properly on both of your profiles. Again, this My Business one is one that shows up on the regional websites. So this is my chapter page, for example, my chapter members, and as people view my profile, this My Business description is what shows from this field. Also, it changes immediately. So as soon as you have gone in and made an update here, once you click Update, it will also be refreshed here. You don't have to wait for somebody to publish the site or anything like that. Every time this screen is loaded, it pulls the information directly from your profile. Now, keywords. Keywords are how people are going to find you when they don't know your name. So make sure you're putting things in that are appropriate for what you'd like to be found for. One thing to keep in mind is that if you are in a field, let's say you're in accounting, you may want to put different permutations of the same word here, such as accountant and accounting, so that you're found if somebody puts in accounting, they may not find you as accountant, and if they put in accountant, they may not find you under accounting. So you may want to put both in. If you're unsure what to put here, just have a one-to-one with your search engine optimization or web person. They could probably give you some good ideas on what to use. On all of these screens, if you make changes, please do make sure to click the Update button at the bottom of the screen. All right, let's look at the next tab. The next tab is your User Profile tab. So this is where you control your logos and your image as well as your login credentials. Now, where this is important, you can make your username anything you want it to be, as long as it doesn't have a space in it, and as long as it's not already taken in the system by somebody else. If you'd like to change your username, just click on Change Username, and go ahead and change it. And again, you can choose whatever you'd like, as long as it's not taken somewhere else. Same thing with your password. Password, click on Change Password, and you should be able to change your password to something that you can easily remember. Now, where the memorable question and answer come into play is if you forget your password. So if I go to Bni Connect and I go to try to log in and I can't log in, I can't figure it out, right down here at the bottom, lost username or password, click here. So when you click there, it will ask you for your email address. So now this is going to be the email address that I have on my record. Now, when I tab or click to the next field, that will search the system for my email address, and it will ask me my question. So, what is my daughter's nickname? Now, if you recall from the other screen, my current answer is Livy. So I would put in Livy. Now, that wouldn't be a correct answer, though, because it is case sensitive. You do have to make sure that you have the proper case in there. The answer is case and space sensitive. So do keep that in mind when you are thinking of what a good question and answer would be. If you put something in like, what was your first address, make sure that if you put in 1 Main Street, that you either remember that you typed out the word street or you put ST period, because the answers will be different. If I were to submit this, it would send me an email with a new password, and I could then log into Bni Connect. You can also choose your language on this screen. So Bni Connect is translated into about 40 different languages. If you would like to see the site in other languages, Japanese, Chinese, other versions of English, notice there's about 9 different versions of English here. By the way, those of you in the United States, if you ever see that your dates are appearing to be incorrect, like it has the day first and then the month, that is a language setting. So just make sure that you're using the US version of English. And then we have our profile image and our company logo. To change this, just click on Change. This will bring up an interface that allows you to go in and change your logo or your picture. So I could remove this one completely if I'd like to, or I can just browse to replace it with another picture. So I just need to go and find that picture on my computer. I can then crop this image if I need to, and click Save. And now this new picture will appear on my profile. The next tab is going to be your contact details. So you can have your phone number, direct number, home number, mobile number, page number, voicemail number, toll-free number, fax number. Feel free to put any or all of those in. The ones that will appear on your page on the website, on the public website, is going to be your main phone number and your mobile phone number. So you might want to make sure to put those ones in first. Your email address is never displayed on the public site. So if you notice on the public site, there is an opportunity to send message. That send message button will send an email to your actual email address. It's a real live email, but your email address will never be actually published on the website. So it is a safe way to be able to receive emails from people that are viewing your profile without revealing your email address. On the inside of Bni Connect, you do have the option of whether you would like that displayed. On the website, although it should be here automatically by default, make sure that it does have an http:// in front of it. If that is missing for some reason, it will cause problems linking back to your website if people click on the link on your profile. Again, it should be put in there automatically, but if for some reason it's not, please do. Renee said, why don't they post our email? What if we want that? It is just standard industry practice that we are not going to post the email address on your profile online for the entire world to see. That does tend to increase spam tremendously. And if you notice, even on the send message here, it does have a CAPTCHA so that people don't use basically bots in order to resend you hundreds and hundreds of emails. You can also put your social media links. There's about a dozen different social media links to choose from, and your address details. Now, coming in the very next version of Bni Connect, what you will get is the ability to check off what you want displayed and what you don't want displayed on a granular level on the public website. So we're very excited for that upcoming release. That's happening sometime in June of this year, probably late June. I'm going to skip the next tab for a second and go straight to the Bio tab. Now, the Bio tab is the place where you start to really build your credibility. You'll notice it's broken into 4 different parts here. The first section is the bio. Now, this is the same bio that gets passed out to you before your 10-minute presentation at your chapter meeting. Great thing about this is you don't have to scramble before your 10-minute presentation. Your secretary-treasurer does have access to your bio. So you can kind of set it and forget it. You obviously want to update it when life changes happen. But you can just store it here in Bni Connect, and your secretary-treasurer never has to bug you for it again. You can also keep a couple of commercials stored here on the website. Here's the deal with the commercials. There are 150,000 active members worldwide in Bni throughout the world. I can almost guarantee you that at least, let's say, 149,900 and maybe 40 of them will never get to hear you speak your 60-second commercials because they more than likely will not visit your chapter. What a great way to build credibility and also to maybe even get some profitability by storing a couple of commercials here. These commercials are visible to other Bni members within Bni Connect. So people can see your commercials on your profile. Going back to my profile from before, if I click on the Bio tab, you'll notice that the 2 60-second presentations are listed here so people can read what you would have spoken in one of your meetings. The next section is the gains profile, and the gains profile is the goals, accomplishments, interests, networks, and skills. Why is it important to put the gains profile in there? Think back to your member success program. One of the things that we're all taught in member success is to do a gains exchange before our one-to-ones with people. It helps to build credibility. It also helps to open avenues of conversation that may not have even been talked about before. You know, how often do you sit down at a one-to-one and you talk about your accomplishments? Most of us are too shy to do that. But when people read them, they can bring that up in conversation a lot more easily. The final thing is the TOPS profile, the ideal referral, top product, top problem solved, favorite BNI story, and ideal referral partner. Why is this one important to fill out? This one is important because this is the one that also appears on your profile on the public website. So again, this one has very high visibility, not just 150,000 members, but anybody that happens to be searching for a member online. Again, that's all of this information here that is taken directly from your profile, and that is called the TOPS profile. And again, whenever you make any changes, please do click the Update button in order to save those changes, and you'll see a little saved message appear at the bottom of the screen. If you have limited time when you're filling this out, my recommendation is to start with the TOPS profile because, again, that's the one that has the greatest visibility, and then come back and do the rest of your profile. The final tab is the Training History tab. We don't have any direct access to edit these. These are controlled by when you register for an event and you go to an event and you got marked as attending the event. These will be automatically updated. If you find something is missing here, don't panic. Just contact your regional office or your director consultant of your chapter, and they should be able to help you with getting your training history up to date. The final thing to discuss today is let's go back to this Account Settings tab. This is where you can control, now that you've seen all of the information out there, from here you control who sees what, where. This first section is the member-to-member section. And again, that's your inside profile. So if I go back to my inside profile here, you're really controlling which of these tabs will appear and which pieces of information on this tab will appear. Again, that's the member-to-member profile. So it's broken into 3 categories. You can show certain pieces of information to everyone, just your connections, and nobody at all. So if you, going back to your question from before, Renee, you do have the opportunity to show your email address to other BNI members. So just on the logged in interior portion of the Bni Connect site. You can also say, well, I don't want to show it to everybody. I just want to show it to people that I'm connected with. That's okay as well. Or if I'd always like my email address hidden, you would switch that to none. And the same thing goes for the Bio tab, the My Connections tab, the My Testimonials tab, the My Picture Gallery tab, and as well as your contact details. Now the second section is the BNI public websites. And again, this is your profile that's out there on the internet. There's only a few options here. Again, this is going to be more granular choiced coming up in the very next version of Bni Connect. But you can, if you uncheck this box, you will be completely removed from the public website. People will not be able to search for you or find you. Allow people to email me. Again, that turns on or off this send message link. And you can also uncheck your office address. So if you'd like all of your contact information here, everything except your town to be hidden, you can uncheck that box. The last section down here has to do with the notifications within Bni Connect. So one of the things that you can do is participate in group discussions. And this portion here has to do with how you are notified when there's activity in the groups. Now, if you are a heavy participant in discussions in Bni Connect, or if you are the creator, you can create up to 7 of your own groups. I highly recommend that you choose the option every time a new post is added. That way, especially as a moderator or a creator, you can more easily participate in those discussions. The next best is the once per day, where you would just get a daily digest email of all the activity in a particular group, once per week, or do not email me at all. The bottom section has to do with the other social media components of Bni Connect. So you can forward any Bni Connect messages to your outside email address, the one that's listed on your profile. You can forward your sent copies there as well, and connection requests and recommendation requests. And if you make any changes on this page, do be sure to hit the Update button. So that is the gist of building VCP by making sure that your profile is complete in Bni Connect. I would like to open this up for questions. We are at the bottom of the hour. These are scheduled as 30-minute webinars. If anybody does need to leave right away, I do want to thank you for being here today. Hopefully you learned something. A good referral for me is to please let your other chapter members know about these webinars. We do between 12 and 20 live webinars a month on various topics, including the online flips and the social media components of Bni Connect, chapter webmasters, chapter tools and reports, and of course this one for filling out your member profile. But again, I would like to open it up for questions. Renee asks, will we get CEUs for this webinar? That is a policy question based in your local region, so I would definitely check with your particular director consultant or your executive director. Most regions will allow for a CEU for this. Now, if you go to your online slips and you go to enter a CEU, notice that podcasts, webinars are not listed here. My guess would be to use one of these 1 credit courses and give yourself a 1 credit for this particular webinar. But again, before you do that, please check with your director consultant or your executive director. Ann says, since I'm new in BNI, am I eligible to create an account, and how do I need any information to create an account? Yes, as soon as you've been accepted in your chapter, you should be getting a notification to create a user account on Bni Connect. It should happen as soon as the paperwork is processed by your regional office. If that hasn't happened, if it's been more than a week or 2 since you joined your chapter, just get in touch with your secretary-treasurer, ask if the paperwork has been submitted to the regional office. If it has, check with your regional office. If it all seems to be submitted and in order, and you still can't log in, please do contact us here at support@bniconnect.com, and we'll be happy to look into it a little further for you and get you set up here in Bni Connect. Absolutely love to help that way. Ann says, we are still a pre-core group. Do we wait until we are chapter? Yes. When your chapter kicks off officially, then you will all receive your notifications to log into Bni Connect, but only after that kickoff has happened. Cool. Do we have any other questions? Oh, Renee, you would, I believe it was Renee that asked earlier about why is this a good idea for members? How do we encourage other people? Here's what I suggest you do. Go to Google and type in BNI referral lands Microsoft. This should be the first result that you get. It is a SuccessNet article that came out a couple of months ago. And if you click through to the link, the gist of the story is that this woman here, Michelle, she's a photographer in the New York area. Now, somebody in Washington was looking for a photographer for their biggest client, who happens to be Microsoft's corporate. They're opening a store in New York City, and they needed somebody to do a photo shoot. So what did they do? They went to BNI Manhattan's website, and they searched for photographers. Now, first of all, because only a few people had their keywords filled out, not many photographers showed up. Then the person went through and clicked on each one of the half a dozen or so that appeared on the profile. Of those half dozen people, only about 3 of them had anything at all on their profiles. Of those 3 of them, only 1 person had an actual picture on their profile. That person was Michelle Cawca. They did a one-to-one over the phone, got to know each other, and the person from Washington referred that business to Michelle. And she picked up a wonderful new client in Microsoft Corporate. This is a huge why should we be doing this. We're getting stories like that here in Bni Connect every single day. So, will it necessarily result in you landing Microsoft? No, but I can tell you here in the computer industry, I have a client that's in Florida. I'm in Rhode Island. That's about 1,200 miles away for those of you not from this country or this area. I needed somebody to fix a client computer. The first place I turned to was bniflorida.com. I went to the regional website. I did a search for computer people. I then picked one of those people. I called the regional office and said, hey, can you verify this person for me? Got a referral that way and was able to send that business down there. So think also of past members. once people leave your chapter, let's say that they left for good reasons. You know, they got too busy or they moved. People still use BNI members. This will be, the regional websites will be your only link back to them as an address book for them to be able to refer business back into BNI. So hopefully all of that information helps to bring back to your chapter in order to convince them, so to speak, to get their profiles up in Bni Connect. Do we have any other questions? Tracy says, how do we find the webinars in the Bni Connect screen? All right, so if you're in Bni Connect, you're logged into Bni Connect, click on the question mark here in the upper right-hand corner. You can also just go to support.bniconnect.com. This will bring you to the Bni Connect support site. You'll notice here's all the upcoming webinars listed. They're also on the United States regional calendars. And if you scroll down to the bottom, you have the training section. Here's the webinars section. So each month I put up all of the webinars that we did during that month. So let's click on May, for example. You can click through and review the uploaded webinars from May. And the same thing going back, you can look at the webinars from April as well. So hopefully that answers your question. And Renee says, some regional offices also send out reminders for webinars. So yes, some regional offices do. Excellent. Do we have any other questions? Excellent. If there's no more questions, just a reminder, you'll be able to find this on Bni Connect Global on YouTube.com. If you have a moment, please also join us on Facebook, facebook.com/Bni Connect Global. We do reminders, webinar announcements, tips and tricks, and all sorts of things up there as well. Please go give us a like and share some stories with us up there. You can also join our webinars group in Bni Connect if you'd like some announcements and reminders. And again, a good referral for me. If you found something of interest or use here today, please bring it back to your chapter and let them know about these webinars. We'd love to get all of the information out of our heads and into your heads. Thank you, everybody, for your time today, and happy connecting. Have a great day.